What a first round matchup we have here. My goodness. The Miami Hurricanes travel on the road to College Station, Texas to take on the Texas A&M Aggies. I've been looking forward to this game ever since I saw that it was a possibility, and we got the possibility. It's going to be phenomenal. A lot of people are out there griping and complaining about this game not being a night game, and that they're very mad that it's an 11 a.m. local kick, and I understand. I really do. I've had the privilege, the honor and the privilege to be at Kyle Field for a night game and a 2:30 game. And I can say from personal experience that yes, it's a better environment at night. Everywhere is a better environment at night. But I don't care if they put this game at 3 a.m. in the morning, if it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon, if it's a night game, if it's 11 a.m. kick. I don't care. That place is going to be bouncing. It's going to be going nuts. It's going to be a crazy environment. I think it's listed at holding a max of 106,000 people or something like that. They're going to pack in like 112 in that stadium. It's going to be nuts. And this game is also like these teams are both so talented, which is the main reason I'm so excited to watch it. Like A&M has so much talent at all three levels of their offense and defense, and so does Miami. There's first round draft picks all over the place in this game, and there are amazing freshmen. There's such unique quarterback play, great coaching, and I feel like both of these teams have had similar seasons too. Like both of these teams at one point in time were near favorites to win a national championship. Like, do we remember how dominant Miami was in the first part of the season? Everyone was saying, man, this Miami team is nuts. They're crazy. We're back in the 90s with how good this Miami team is. And, of course, they fell off with losses to Louisville and SMU. And then Texas A&M similarly. I mean, they were undefeated. They were like the only undefeated team in the SEC for a few weeks there. And a lot of people were saying, why not A&M? This is the best A&M team we've ever seen. Surely this could definitely be the year that they pull it off. And, for different reasons, their seasons sort of went from being at the top to sort of falling down a little bit, but they're both in the playoffs. They both still have a chance to make a run. And these two teams playing at their peak, in my opinion, have been some of the best teams we've seen in college football all season long. And I love both of these teams. If I'm being completely honest, I honestly I adore that we get to watch this matchup. Like my football brain is so excited that I get to watch Miami play Texas A&M. But I am bummed out that one of these two teams is going to be eliminated after this game. It is unfortunate because they're both really fun to watch and they're really fun to talk about and break down. So we are going to start about Miami's offense. We're not going to waste any time, but we're going to get into what the Canes like to do on the offensive side of the ball. And I feel like Miami's the story of their team going into this year, not just their offense, but their team, was Carson Beck. I mean, I feel like every big college football fan remembers where they were when Carson Beck entered the transfer portal and then went to Miami. Like, that was crazy. That was not supposed to happen. He was supposed to be in the draft. And just randomly, I remember where I was. I was walking back from my geology class back to my freshman dorm room, and I got the alert on my phone. I was like, what? Carson Beck to Miami? What is going on? And everyone was talking about that going into the year. And then he went out and beat Notre Dame, and everyone just overreacted like crazy. They're like, give Carson Beck the Heisman. This Miami team is insane. And then he sort of came back down to earth. But I am here to say that the story of this Miami offense has not been Carson Beck. It's not been Mark Fletcher. It's not been the offensive line. It has been a true freshman who's not a five-star recruit, not a four-star recruit, but a measly three-star recruit that has literally taken the entire reins of this Miami offense into his own hands. That is Malachi Toney. Malachi Toney is the most dynamic player in college football right now. It is crazy what he's doing. And I remember he put up a great performance against Notre Dame in week 1 of the season. Against Notre Dame, he had a touchdown in that game. He was their leading receiver. Of course, C.J. Daniels made the crazy catch. But I remember he had a great performance in that game. He was fantastic against Florida State. He was amazing against Louisville, even in that loss. And early in the year, he was so good. And I feel like that's when people were talking about him the most. But I'm here to tell you that Malachi Toney has done nothing but improve. Like literally, all he's done this year is gotten better. And as he's gotten better, he's gotten more and more control over the offense. Like they put him all over the field, literally. It is crazy. And I think that is where you have to start the conversation with Miami is with Malachi Toney. And I'm going to show you some Malachi Toney clips a little bit further into this game preview that prove that point. But this is a Miami offense that has to be able to run the ball successfully or succeed in extensions of the run game. Because in my opinion, that this has been the case with Carson Beck wherever he has been in college football. If you supply Carson Beck with a solid run game where he can work out of play action, he will succeed and he will be a great, efficient quarterback that you can rely on. We saw that in 2023 with the Georgia Bulldogs. He was phenomenal. They had a great run game and he could work out of play action, and it worked so well for their offense. And then in 2024, Georgia could not run the ball at all. Like 0% of Georgia could run the football. And because of that, all of the pressure was on Carson Beck. And we saw him have great games, like the second half against Alabama or the Tennessee game. He was phenomenal. But he struggled a lot. He threw 3 interceptions, like 4 games or something like that last year. And in this year, too, with Miami, every time they run the ball consistently, Carson Beck looks great. But then Louisville, for example, I remember watching that game. They stacked the line. They made it an emphasis to take away the run game. And because of that, Miami started to struggle on third down. Or not on third down, but they started to. Carson Beck struggled in 3 interceptions, basically, is what I'm getting to. So I think the run game is really important with this Miami offense. And this is a Texas A&M defense that has kind of struggled against the run this year. I mean, yes, they are a great defense. And I think the defining characteristic that makes this defense great is the 41 sacks they've had this year, which leads the SEC, where it's tied for the lead with Oklahoma. And then they're first in the nation, not just in the SEC, but in the country in third down percentage defensively. They're only giving up 22% of opponents' third down opportunities, which is phenomenal. It's the best in the country. And they do that because they can get after the quarterback so well. And I actually have some clips of how they get after the quarterback that I'm going to show you right here. So this against LSU, of course, the LSU game was not even close. This is Cassius Howell just winning, like one-on-one against a young right tackle. You look at 57 on the far left of the offensive line. He's going up against Cassius Howell. He's got 11.5 sacks this year. This is Cassius Howell simply just winning this rep. Watch, he just completely just walks right by 57. Doesn't even get touched. And that's what Cassius Howell can do. He gets off the line so well and makes havoc plays like this all the time, especially on third downs. The thing is, against Miami, Miami has some elite tackles. Like the dude Francis, whatever his last name is, I can't pronounce it. He's going in the first round. And then they have another guy at right tackle who's younger, also a dog. So Cassius Howell, in my opinion, is not going to be able to win one-on-one against Miami like he does in this next clip as well. Cassius Howell, I believe, is at the bottom of the screen on this play. And I mean, yeah, he's just going to win again and get home. So, I mean, Cassius Howell's a dog and he does this, but I don't know if he can do it against Miami. But I think Texas A&M will 100% be able to do this right here against anybody that they play against. And this is their special simulated pressures they do all the time. And look at the down and distance. It's third down and 10. If Miami gets into third down and 10s, if anyone gets into third down and 10s against this A&M defense, it's a punt or it's a sack or it's a throwaway because they're so good at getting home. Like you can watch this clip. They walk up a bunch of players, and I think 25 is the one. No, it's the linebacker 27. They do such a good job at completely manipulating what offensive lines want to do, and they pin their ears back and get home on third down so well. I think there's another simulated pressure look against Texas here. Again, third down and 11. This was the last game that Texas A&M has played. They walk up. They've got 5 guys straight across the line of scrimmage. They're going to bring a safety down, and he's the one that's going to get home against Arch Manning. So, I mean, they just do such a good job. My point in showing you that is to show how they do such an amazing job of getting home on third and longs. That is their DNA. That is what they are best at. And they have so many guys that are so good at it, like Tarian York, like Cassius Howell. And because they get home so fast, they can play man coverage in the secondary. And they got some dogs at corner, and Des Ricks and Will Lee, that have been playing good man coverage all season long. So what is Miami going to have to do to get out of third and longs? It's going to be running the football with Mark Fletcher, who's a big boy. Mark Fletcher's huge. And I mean, he just eats tackles and gets downfield and carries defenders. I love watching Mark Fletcher. He's just a kahuna. And then Miami also has their backup running back number 22 is a true freshman. He's playing ball right now. He's making great cuts. But the most important thing that Miami needs to do to not get into third and longs against this Texas A&M defense is for MALACHIII to show up and play big. And I'm gonna show you some clips of MALACHIII against Pittsburgh that are just insane. And this is exactly what Miami needs to avoid third and long. So this is 1st and 5. This is the first offensive play of the game for Miami against Pittsburgh in their last regular season game. They're going to line up MALACHIII at running back. They're going to motion it to him. And this is exactly what Miami wants. I mean, of course, this doesn't look good for Miami. I mean, you have your wide receiver losing his block on the outside. That's a free man on MALACHIII. And then you have 3 pursuit players, 4 Pitt players, to 2 Miami blockers that are pursuing this football. A normal human being would get tackled for loss here. An above average human being would pick up maybe 2 or 3 yards. But MALACHIII, on the other hand, is crazy. And he picks up a first down because he's MALACHIII. True freshman, by the way. And then this is the play right after that. You're going to see Miami run this play so many times against A&M. They run it against so many different people. And that is just a simple little, just against man coverage, MALACHIII will run that little speed out so often. And he's so good after the catch, making the most out of every single touch that he gets. This is what they need to beat Texas A&M. Here's another play you're going to see so much from Miami. If I'm Texas A&M and I'm seeing number 9, the tight end, go in motion for Miami, I am immediately signaling to myself, it's going to be a slot screen to MALACHIII. He's in the slot right now at around the hash marks of the top of your screen. And 9 is going to come in motion, and they're going to get it to MALACHIII. I mean, they do that so often. You could just watch Miami football this year. That play comes up multiple times per game. And watch, this is the craziest part of this play to me. How on earth does MALACHIII stay on his feet right here? He's jumping over an offensive lineman and somehow doesn't lose his balance. I mean, watch this. How is he still on his feet? I don't get it. He's like inhumane. Him and Zachariah Branch, I don't understand how they do it. They're just cheat codes. And this guy was a 3-star recruit and is true freshman. Here, MALACHIII's in the slot again. And this is just another crazy run after catch, I believe. Yeah, there's the speed out again. See, this is 1st and 15. But basically the point I'm trying to prove here is Miami runs their offense through number 10. They run their offense through MALACHIII. And because of that, they're going to be able to limit 3rd and longs. That's the key, in my opinion, to Miami's offense having success, is not being in 3rd and longs. And also, if they can have plays like this. Watch this catch from MALACHIII. He's in the slot again. Watch this catch. I mean, like, what am I supposed to say about that? That's crazy. With one hand falling to his left, Carson Beck kind of, he's got a hand in space. He misses the throw a little bit. Just one-handed, plucks it out of the air, almost behind his head. True freshman. This guy's a tree. He's not even that big. And he's just making so many plays. He is my favorite player right now in all of the college football playoffs. I think my favorite players in college football are still Haynes King. And I have to give it to Charlie Becker because I just love Charlie Becker. But MALACHIII is so cool. Like he is so good. And they even play him a quarterback. If you didn't think that he could do enough, if lining up at running back and lining up the slot receiver and catching screens and making speed out man coverage wins and staying on his feet making one-handed catches, if that wasn't enough, he also plays quarterback every now and then. And you might just be thinking this is Wildcat. Like there's no way he's going to throw out of this, right? No, he's going to throw a touchdown. And he does this often. And they put him at quarterback, and you always think to yourself when you see a wide receiver or a running back at corner or at quarterback, it's an obvious run or they're going to work in some sort of weird wrinkle. No, MALACHIII won a high school state championship as a quarterback. So it's not like he can make throws. Like he is so good. And it's hard for anyone to slow this guy down. And it will be hard for A&M to slow him down. Here's where Miami hides him. Like you'd think that defenses are going to be able to pick up on their best player and not just let him slip out in the open field. Miami still does such a good job at hiding him. Like he's at running back right now, and they bring him in motion, and he completely gets lost for a touchdown. So if I'm Texas A&M, my eyes, whether it's Torian York, I know Scooby Williams is injured. If it's their other linebacker, I can't remember his name. They have to have eyes on number 10 at all times to make sure that this doesn't happen. To make sure that Miami can't just send him in motion and he gets lost for a wide open touchdown. That cannot happen if you're Texas A&M because they want to get him the ball at all times. He is that good. Here is another MALACHIII play. Is this just him staying on his feet somehow, unbelievably? It probably is because that's every time he gets the ball. Well, let's see. It's a screen pass. Just good luck. How are you still on your feet, bro? You were literally on the ground. I don't understand. He is so good. Here's him at quarterback again, by the way. Just if you wanted to see that same play he threw a touchdown on, but instead he just, picks up a first down in the red zone with it. They could just do whatever we want. I mean, just give MALACHIII the ball at this point. Here's the same screenplay. I'm telling you, they run this play all the time. Every time they send that tight end in motion, pretty much that I've seen, it's going to be a screen pass to MALACHIII. And even if Pitt knows it's coming, how is he He's just so good. Like I could watch Malachi Tony tape all day long. How does he duck under that tackle and still just oh my gosh, man. I'm done. I have to be done. I'm just get it off the. I'm talking about Malachi Tony. So I know that was a lot of yapping. I know it was a lot of Malachi Tony. It was a lot of A&M defense. But basically, my A&M needs to key on Malachi Tony and keep him in check so that they can get to third and long, which is where they thrive. If Miami, with their run game, with big boy Mark Fletcher and with Malachi Tony, can get to third and shorts, they can stay ahead of the sticks, they can be on schedule, then they can move the football. That is what it comes down to, in my opinion, for Miami when they have the ball. But what about A&M when they have the football? Because that's the other half of this game. A&M's offense has been really good this year. I think Marcel Reed is really dynamic. If you ask anybody, I think they will tell you that the most dynamic part of this offense is Marcel Reed's legs. It has been all season. He's really, really good. But I still don't trust Marcel Reed throwing the football as much as I do a lot of other quarterbacks in the playoffs and in college football. I think he's very indecisive. I think he misses reads sometimes. He's had 3 games with multiple interceptions this year. And he doesn't really have the best footwork or the best arm strength. I think he chops his feet a lot. I think he needs to stay still in the pocket a little bit. But with that, I mean, he still has Mario Craver. He still has Casey Concepcion. Both of them have over 800 yards receiving this year. They're part of the reason why Marcel Reed can just sort of dump the ball off to them and they can make plays. They're so good after the catch. And this offensive line is elite. They've only allowed 12 sacks all season long, which is the best in the SEC. And Trey Zune has been talking trash, which is a little weird. Trey Zune is one of the starting tackles for Texas A&M. You're going up against Ruben Bain, and what Trey Zune said about Ruben Bain is, I don't think he's a threat. We don't need to worry about it. We will be able to handle it. A lot of people hate that. A lot of people are saying, why are you talking trash to one of the best players in college football? He's just going to go torch you. I love that from Trey Zune, man. Talk all the trash you want. This is a big-time game. I have no problem with it. You go out and talk all the smack you want, and if you can back it up, you'll be a legend. That's all that I am concerned about. But the main problem to me with A&M, obviously, I don't trust Marcel Reed. I already said that. And when I don't trust Marcel Reed, that means that A&M, once they are in positions where they're trailing late in games, like they were against Texas, that's where Marcel Reed threw his interceptions. That is where they are at the most vulnerable, is when they're trailing late in games and when they get to third and long. So how do you avoid that? You run the football well. Luckily for A&M, they are second in the SEC in rushing yards per game. But in my opinion, a lot of that is credited to Le'Veon Moss. Le'Veon Moss was so good when he's in the game. He got injured at some point in the year, like halfway through the season. He was playing so good. And his backup has been Reuben Owens for the most part. And listen, I like Reuben Owens just as much as the next guy. I do. He's super fast. He's really good at putting his foot in the ground and making corners and linebackers miss in one-on-ones. And he finds holes pretty efficiently, but he just falls down all the time. Like, I don't understand it. Like, here's a clip against Texas, and all these clips are going to be against Texas from Reuben Owens. It's got the Skycast, which I love. But Reuben Owens is going to have a great hole on counter here, and he just needs to stay on his feet. And he could have had a touchdown. Like, watch this run. Like, that could be a touchdown, Reuben Owens. But look what he does. He falls down. I mean, he barely get touched by, I don't even know who that Texas D lineman was. Barely touched him. And Reuben Owens, it's like he's playing so scared that someone's going to hit him that he's just falling down. This isn't the only time that happens this game. This is to me is the most oblivious one. Like, Reuben Owens does such a good job on this play by getting to the outside, finding the hole. He's one-on with a corner. He makes a miss. This is a touchdown. Look at that green grass in front of him. And again, he just falls. Like, dude, stay on your feet, man. So in my opinion, oh, wait a second. I gotta figure this out real quick. There we go. In my opinion, Texas A&M's rushing attack would be at its peak if Reuben Owens would stay on his feet. And again, he's a great player. He throws great blocks. He's got great effort. He's got amazing breakaway speed. But if I could see Reuben Owens staying on his feet in this game, I think A&M will completely take off with it and play some great offensive football. That being said, they are going up against a unit of a Miami defense. I've called this defense so many times this year a rated R defense. I've said if you have kids around, it's fine for them to watch, the Ole Miss Tulane game. They can watch that game. They can watch Oregon James Madison. But Miami's defense, when they're on the prowl, when they're playing with effort, when they're playing with tenacity and consistency, you might have to hide your kids, man. You might have to not let them watch that football because it is aggressive. It is tenacious. It's scary. It is very, very scary. And the numbers prove that. They're first in the ACC in yards allowed per game, 11th in the nation, and they thrive at stopping the run. Their front seven is elite. Like I said, they just play like they're seeing red at all times. Like if a running back is even remotely close to not being tackled, their entire team will swarm on him and just fight as hard as they can every time to get him on the ground. I love this defense. They're so good. So when I see a guy like Ruben Owens falling down all the time, and I see a defense as tenacious as Miami, especially against the run, I feel like that might favor Miami a little bit. I don't know. I'm just saying it's definitely a case to be made. But that being said, Miami's secondary, they've also been good this year. I think they've been relatively untested. So we'll see if maybe some of the Texas A&M receivers can take advantage of that. If Colin Klein can attack it, we'll see. But again, very similar. This is why these teams are so similar. Miami is so good on third down. They're 10th in the country when opponents have the ball on third down. Like their third down defense is phenomenal. And a lot of that is because of their pass rush. Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor are both so good. Like I think that these two teams are elite on third down for completely different reasons. And it was elite because they play great man coverage and they run sim pressures and they make you play hot, and it's hard to play hot on third and long and convert. Miami is so good on third down because they play zone coverage, and Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor just win one-on-one matchups and make you step up and get the ball out. So I think both of those defenses have like third downs. I would be surprised if either team is above 30% on third downs. Like I think both of these defenses are so good at it, and both of these quarterbacks I don't trust to make plays on third down. So taking all of that in, I know I said a lot. I showed you a lot. I'm going to simplify it right here. To me, Miami offensively, keys to the game, get MALACHIII the ball, run the ball at least consistently a little bit so that Carson Beck can be comfortable and you can stay ahead of the sticks. But it's going to be hard to do that because Miami or Texas A&M is so good on third down. On the other side of the football, if you're Texas A&M, run the ball well with Marcel Reed, Ruben Owens, stay on your feet, try and get some explosive plays after the catch from Casey and Mario, and try not to get to third and long. Third and longs for both teams is a death sentence in this football game. I cannot stress that enough. That being said, with all that information that I just threw at you, my game prediction for who I think is going to win the Miami at Texas A&M football game in the first round of the playoffs to move on and face the Ohio State Buckeyes, I got the Miami Hurricanes doing it on the road, 24-17. I think both these defenses are phenomenal. I don't think it's going to be super high scoring. And at the end of the day, I trust Miami to stop the run and make Marcel Reed beat them. And the only team that I've seen Marcel Reed beat this year has been South Carolina. And Miami's defense is a heck of a lot better than South Carolina's. And I think it's so hard for me to bet against MALACHIII right now for the reasons that I showed you. He is balling out. He's playing so well. And I just, to me, again, this could go either way. I mean, Miami, if they turn the ball over a couple times, if Carson Beck gives Marcel Reed the ball in plus territory, and if they can't run the ball on A&M's defense, A&M could easily win this football game. I am not 100% confident on this pick. I just like what I see from Miami a little bit more than I do from what I've seen from A&M. And of course, the winner does have to play against Ohio State, which is going to be tough for both of these teams. But at the end of the day, I would be happy if either of these teams won because I really like watching both of them. I think they're both so talented. I love talking about both of them on this podcast. So I really hope I get to talk about it one more week. And it's going to be an awesome game. Like this game to me, I am excited about the Alabama-Oklahoma game. I am not excited about Ole Miss Tulane. I think that's going to be a blowout. And I think James Madison might keep it close with Oregon. Not for maybe the whole game, but I think they might for a little bit. But this is the marquee matchup, in my opinion, of the first round. It's going to be so much fun to watch. And I got the Canes. I'm rolling with the Miami Hurricanes to move on to the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. So with that, thanks so much for watching. If there's one thing you take away from this video, it's not that MALACHIII is just an absolute maniac. It is not that A&M runs great sim pressures. It's not that Kyle Field is amazing or that Miami will play Ohio State in a couple weeks. But it is that our Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ, and he loves us so much and died for all of our sins on the cross. And if none of us existed other than you watching this video, if you are the only person on the planet when Jesus was on the planet, he would have done all of his suffering, everything that he did that was horrible for him. He would have done it all just for you. That's how much he loves you. And if you even think about them today, or if you even pray for anyone, you can pray for me. For like, I need the prayers just as much as anybody else. I'm no better than anyone. God would be so happy, and that's what we're striving for in life, is love, and more specifically God's love, not judgment or hatred or anything else. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great college football playoff first round watching time this weekend. I guess is how I would say that. Go Canes! I got the Canes, so I got Go Canes. I got Roll Tide. I got Hotty Toddy, I guess is what Ole Miss says. And then I got the Oregon Ducks in the nightcap. Those are my predictions for the first round. And God bless. Y'all have a great night, and thanks so much for watching.